Hi there. Good noon, everyone. So, how's your preparation of CAT 23 coming along so far? हाँ, सारे सीरियस एस्पिरेंट्स ने तो तैयारियां शुरू कर ही दी हैं यार. हमारे यहाँ तो 3 बैचेस भी बन चुके हैं जिसमें बहुत सारे बच्चे बहुत जोश के साथ बहुत अच्छी तैयारी शुरू कर रहे हैं. सो आई एम श्योर दैट इफ यू आर अ सीरियस एस्पिरेंट, यू मस्ट बी अ सीरियस एस्पिरेंट यार. अगर तुम सीरियस नहीं होते तो तुम यहाँ पे किस लिए आते ना. हाँ, so I'm sure you're a serious aspirant and you've started your preparation. So how is your preparation shaping up? How's it going? कैसी चल रही है तैयारी? उस तैयारी के बारे में कुछ जानना चाहते हो? Do you have any question, any concern? Then please make sure that you share that with me. Harshad, hello Harshad. So Harshad, is there anything specific that you want to know about CAT preparation? Otherwise, we plan to touch on a really important area with respect to reading comprehension. It's important, at the same time it is overlooked. So we thought that we should go ahead and talk about that today. So the area that I otherwise plan to talk about today is skimming an RC passage. So my name is Vikrant. I've been helping CAT aspirants for 21 years, and during these 21 years I have coached and prepared thousands of people to ensure that they get into their dream B school. And consequently, today when I look around, my students are everywhere in all the organizations and all sorts of positions, and you are right now on BYJU'S channel dedicated to CAT preparation. So anybody who's here, we help you excel and we help you accelerate your journey towards your goal. So if you are already a part of BYJU'S family, if you've subscribed to this channel, welcome back. If you're new here, do hit the subscribe button so that we get to meet each other by design, by plan, and not through just an accident. ऋषि says VRC बचा लो सर, 1 साल खराब हो चुका है यार. देख, सबसे पहली चीज, ऋषि, खराब वराब कुछ नहीं होता यार. At the end of the day, no matter which subject you prepare for, even if it is VARC, all that you need to do is step 1, look at the syllabus. Right? Look at the syllabus. So your syllabus will have reading comprehension. Within reading comprehension, there are 8 things that you need to master. Okay, then we have VA. Within VA, if I talk about the IIMs, we typically get 3 to 4 question types, primarily paragraph driven. And for some other exams, you may have a few other areas too. So maybe let us say 8 different question types. And then you need to add a bit of grammar to it. So within grammar, I'd say that we have 14, 15, 16, 17 chapters. And then you have vocabulary that you need to take care of. And then you have verbal reasoning. And within verbal reasoning, you definitely need to be aware of some 4 odd things. But if I include all the entrance exams, that maybe we have around 6 chapters. So that's the syllabus. Yeah, if you don't know the syllabus, then it is obviously going to be a bit of an issue, a bit of a problem. Right? But if you can go through it and look at this, 8 plus 8, 16, 16 and 17 is 33, 33 and 6 is 39 plus vocabulary, that's your 40th thing. So you just have these 40 things, out of which the way I see it, 8 plus 17 plus 6 are chapters that you don't need to work on every day. For the remaining areas, you may need to work on these every day. Oh, Kumaresan has a very interesting question. So, Kumaresan, years and years ago, I have heard that every IIM wanted to give itself a unique identity. Every IIM thought that, okay, we are going to look for a specific personality profile or specific aptitude in a student. And ideally, if we have different IIMs, we can actually go in for different kinds of individuals. So therefore, you would notice that they may have different sectional cutoffs. Not only that, they may give different weightage to different components. right? So 10th, 12th, graduation, work experience. So every college is aiming at a particular type of student, and therefore we see that in those differences. Rishi says CAT के reference में क्या important है? I think the number one thing obviously is RC, right? So I mean आपके पूरे CAT का अगर आप देखें तो it is more than 20% of your entire CAT. और VR का एक चैप्टर भी इन्हीं 8 में से आ जाता है, क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग. एक्चुअली इट्स एन ओवरलैप, सो दैट इज प्रोबेबली समथिंग दैट यू डेफिनेटली वांट टू एक्सेल एट. श्रेया सेज क्या हमें अभी से सेक्शनल या मॉक टेस्ट देना चाहिए? श्रेया एक बार प्रिपरेशन शुरू करें. प्रिपरेशन शुरू करने के 6 से 8 हफ्ते के बाद I think you should then write at least one mock. 6-8 हफ्ते के बाद एक मॉक हो सके तो दे देना चाहिए. Then you get to know where your preparation stands and what else you need to do. And that's really amazing. I mean, देखो, let me give you the correct perspective. हाँ, जब आप बोलते हैं मॉक कैट देना चाहिए कि नहीं या सेक्शनल टेस्ट देना चाहिए कि नहीं, इट्स एक्चुअली वेरी सिंपल. मेरे लिए मॉक कैट देना ठीक ऐसा ही है जैसे पार्टी के लिए तैयार होते समय शीशे के आगे खड़े होना. जब आप पार्टी के लिए तैयार होना शुरू करते हैं तो इमीडिएटली शीशे के आगे खड़े नहीं होते हैं. एक बार बेसिक सेट ऑफ क्लोथ्स पहन लेते हैं, फिर शीशे के आगे खड़े होकर के फिर वो देखते हैं सब ठीक तो है, फिर एक्स्ट्रा चीजें ऐड करते हैं, एक्सेसरीज ऐड कर सकते हैं, मेकअप ऐड कर सकते हैं, सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ, राइट? तो तैयारी में भी ऐसे ही है. 6 से 8 हफ्ते एक बार पढ़ लें जरा डट के, जरा जम के, उसके बाद शीशे के आगे खड़े होंगे तो बता देगा शीशा कि यार अभी कहाँ कहाँ कमी है. दैट्स व्हाट अ मॉक टेस्ट डज. फिर आप उस पर थोड़ा सा काम करें, और शुरू में ऑब्वियसली बहुत सारी चीजें निकल करके आती हैं काम करने वाली, सो दे मे एंड अप टेकिंग यू अनदर 4 to 6 weeks. उसके बाद फिर से एक टेस्ट दे दें, और जैसे जैसे आपकी तैयारी बेहतर होती जाएगी वैसे वैसे आप मॉक कैट्स की फ्रीक्वेंसी बढ़ाते जाएंगे, राइट? So that's exactly how it works. Okay, so there you go. So let us go ahead. Your life is a parabolic curve. You're putting me in a tricky spot, huh? Let's take it up somewhere else. But otherwise I will be taking care of the batches here at BYJU'S Test Prep. And if you wish to study with me, you should simply join BYJU'S. And it's just not me. Okay, we have an amazing team. You can go through their videos on the channel. We have Saral sir and Naveen sir and Srinivas sir and Nikita ma'am and Savitri ma'am. And it's a dream. It's a really cool team that we have. Huh? Okay, so now let us dive into skimming, right? So come to think of it, when we go and attempt an RC passage, we don't read it for leisure. ऐसे मस्ती मजाक टाइम पास के लिए थोड़ी ना आरसी पैसेज पढ़ते हैं हम लोग, है ना? We have a purpose behind reading that passage. And what is that purpose? Pray tell. So tell me, क्या पर्पस होता है यार आरसी पैसेज पढ़ने का? ऋषि, इयोन के आरसीज तो फिर भी समझ आ जाएंगे. ये जो बीच बीच में आयम वाले किताबों से देते हैं ना आरसीज, देयर लाइक वुश. अभी इसी बार एक इन्होंने फ्रैंकफर्ट स्कूल ऑफ फिलॉसफी का पैसेज दिया था कैट के स्लॉट 1 में, क्रिटिकल थियरी ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी. वाओ, दैट वाज सो माइंड ब्लोइंगली चैलेंजिंग. इयोन वाले फिर भी समझ आ जाते, ऐसे वाले एक्चुअली में खतरनाक होते. बट वी कैन बिल्ड अवर एबिलिटी टू reach that level, reach that juncture. Okay, so rest of you, bhai, what is your objective while attempting the RC passage in the exam? Oh, so Kumarison has a take to understand the ideas and vital points. Kind of, yes, but if I look at it from little more foundational a perspective. Oh, yes. So our goal is to get as many marks as possible in as less a time as possible. That's what we want. Okay, so we're not reading it for leisure. We are not reading the passage to understand it. We are reading so that this goal of ours, this objective of ours is met, so that this is taken care of. So that's a goal basically, right? So how do we really achieve this goal? How can I really ensure that I am able to get as many marks as possible in as lesser time as possible? क्या क्या करना पड़ेगा इसके लिए? Any guesses? So बहुत सिंपल है यार. एक्चुअली अगर देखें तो you can essentially enhance your level of comprehension. At the end of the day, it is reading comprehension. So the better you understand, the more your accuracy is. Additionally, if you want to reduce time, you want to be faster, then what do? First and foremost, identify where the time goes. है ना, क्या क्या करते हैं जिसमें हमारा time जाता है. And once you've figured out different places where we spend time, you can take some steps to mitigate it. You can do certain things that can help you in becoming faster. For example, where all does that time goes? You spend time on reading the passage and the questions, right? So imagine if you double your reading speed, then you can reduce this time by half. So one of the steps that we can take is that we can move towards increasing our reading speed. Then you also spend a bit of time on understanding the question. So you read a question and then you think, oh, what is it that this question really asks? Okay, what is it that the question really asks? Now you can do that in the examination, or you can attend my classes. In those classes, I introduce you to the 20 different question types that we get asked in the exam, what every question really stands for. And in each one of these question types, when you are stuck between two answer choices, which tactics, which strategy you are supposed to implement so that you're able to choose the right answer choice. है ना, मतलब 20 ही तो हैं. खुद से पेपर में बैठ के दिमाग लगाओगे, उससे अच्छा मेरे साथ ही काम कर लो और बड़ी जल्दी तुम उन सवालों को समझ भी जाओगे और उसमें आंसर्स कैसे एलिमिनेट करते हैं वो भी आ जाएंगे. सो यू नो द नेक्स्ट स्टेप दैट यू नीड टू टेक, राइट? You want to enhance your understanding of the questions, just work closely with me. And then और चीजें, मान लीजिए जब आपने क्वेश्चन समझ लिया, you want to answer the question. So you've understood it, you want to answer it. So you realize you need to go back to the passage where you look for the answer. And that helps you in being accurate, isn't it? So what can you do to save time in this particular step? You can make a mental overview of the passage. If you have the right mental overview of the passage, you are able to refer to, you are able to go back to the right area every single time. Okay? So ये जो mental overview बनाने वाली ability है, this particular ability is something that depends a lot on your ability to skim through an RC passage. तो यहाँ पे वो skimming थोड़ी important हो जाती है. So let us talk about how we can skim through a passage. So first up, I have a question. It may appear slightly unrelated, but humor me. And the question is, what is skimmed milk? आपने कभी skimmed milk use किया है? What exactly is it? Good afternoon, Varun. What is skimmed milk? So, we all know milk. Now, if you boil milk, if you heat milk and then you allow to cool it down, then you typically get a layer of cream on top, right? In Hindi, we call this layer of cream malai. And then you can actually choose to take out the malai, take out the cream from that milk and store it in the fridge. You can use it to make butter, you can use it to make clarified butter or ghee, right? So the milk left after removing the fats, the milk that is left after removing the fats, the cream, the malai, is known as skimmed milk. So what is skimmed milk? Milk minus milk fat. Right. Now, a lot of people nowadays buy skimmed milk. Remember toned milk, double toned milk? उनको लगता है इससे होती है परेशानी, है ना? Milk fat करता है परेशान. That milk fat is not a good thing. But the truth is, I mean, I don't know what the truth really is, but my grandmother used to say कि oh, when it comes to babies, you should give them malai, cream, you should give them full cream milk, because according to my grandmother, this makes the kids stronger. In fact, I remember throughout winters, we were fed 2 spoons of ghee every day. मॉर्निंग इवनिंग, हाँ, बच्चों के लिए अच्छा होता है. तो ये इंपॉर्टेंट चीज, ताकत इसी से आती है. और सो शी यूज्ड टू से. हाँ, पर आजकल थोड़ा उल्टा हो गया. तो एक बार उस पुराने थॉट प्रोसेस से चलते हैं, that when you skim the milk, you take out what is powerful, what is important in the milk. Similarly, when we talk about skimming a passage, we talk about taking out what is important from that passage. Or in other words, you read the passage only selectively, and in this process you aim to get the key points, and those key points are known as overview. ऋषि, क्या नहीं लगता है? अच्छा मुझे देख के यार, वो बचपन के दिन थे ना यार. अब बड़े होने के बाद आप लापरवाह भी तो हो जाते हैं. पर एक काम कर सकते हैं, तुम कैट के लिए तैयारी करो और मैं इस डायरेक्शन में तैयारी करता हूं, और देखते हैं तुम्हारी और मेरी दोनों की तैयारी मिलके कैसी चलती. और कोई भी टिप्स हो तो बताते रहना. जैसे मेरे पास जो भी ज्ञान है, मेरे पास जो भी टिप्स हैं, मैं तुम्हें बताता रहता हूँ यार. होल हार्टेडली साथ में काम करता रहता हूँ. सो मुझे बताते रहो कि कैसे हम भी जरा बेटर बने. राइट. Oh, Shreya is asking, please tell me any psychology book for beginners. यार साइकोलॉजी, यार तूने ना बहुत दुविधा वाला सवाल पूछ लिया श्रेय, क्योंकि मैंने ना मास्टर्स की हुई है साइकोलॉजी में. जिस एरिया को आपने बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ा होता है ना, उस एरिया में बिगिनर्स बुक याद ही नहीं आ पाती यार. जिन एरियाज में खुद आप पढ़े नहीं होते ना बहुत ज़्यादा, यू हैव गॉन थ्रू ओनली अ फ्यू बुक्स यू कैन रेकमेंड. Psychology is an area that I know very well, but which book should I recommend to a beginner really? Yeah, give me some time. I actually have to think. Because there are certain books which are coming to my mind. I'm actually reading a book on theories of personality right now. It's a really fabulous book, but I don't think it is really going to be for beginners. Varun, lunch se pehle jala mat bhai. Varun is talking about mutton, rice and that too with ghee. So anyhow, so we know what skimming is. Okay. But the question now is, how do we do it? So our brain automatically skims the passages. Our brain is already reading the passages selectively. How? तो एक काम करो बहुत ही जल्दी से. I'll show you something on the screen. You need to type it exactly in the comment box. Okay? So write this following sentence in the comment box. Fast. Come on, quick. Don't take time. It's actually really very simple. Go ahead, tell me. Just write this sentence. Let's see who has the fastest fingers here. Oi, not a single person writing. What happened? इतना कितना टाइम लग रहा है भाई? Okay, and Shrey, is it Shrey or is it Shreya? I made a mistake the other day. I called a Shreya, and the Shreya did not feel all that great. So बता भी देना ताकि मैं ध्यान रख लूँ यार अगले बार से. कुछ कुछ नामों में प्रॉब्लम आती है ना। अबे लिख क्यों नहीं रहे हो, क्या हो गया है? What's taking you this long? हे भगवान, यहाँ फास्टेस्ट फिंगर फर्स्ट की जगह पे मुझे लग रहा है तुम लोग तो अभी तक बेड छोड़ करके उठे भी नहीं हो सवेरे से। संडे मनाया जा रहा है। श्रेय, श्रेय, श्रेया, what I mean, you just typed the same spelling again. How would I know whether it is Shrey or Shreya? So Shreya is a masculine name, Shreya is a feminine name. So you can probably write masculine or feminine and that will help then. हाँ जी, बताओ जी। कोई नहीं लिख रहा, छोड़ो यार। तो मतलब यार क्या यार, मतलब दिल तोड़ रहे हो यार। पर खैर चलो मैं बता देता हूँ। जब तुमने ये सेंटेंस पढ़ा था तो इसमें ये दो द थे, तुम्हारा ध्यान गया क्या? अगर हाँ तो ठीक है, राइट। नहीं तो आपका ब्रेन ऑटोमेटिकली आर्टिकल्स, प्रेपोजिशंस इनको ना एडिट करता रहता है, इनको स्किप करता रहता है। Okay, so you already have this natural skimming happening and you can start doing it consciously as well while reading the passage. And but why do you need to do that? Why should you even skim? You should skim because it allows you to get the main idea of the passage. और main idea आने का मतलब क्या? आप main idea question, आप suitable title questions, you'd be able to answer these questions. Okay, Shreya, so I get this now. So you get the suitable title questions correct. Number two, you get the overview. And how does that overview help? The overview helps in answering tone-based questions. The overview helps you in answering the purpose questions. The overview helps in taking you back to the right area. So आप किसी भी सवाल का आंसर देने के लिए जो पैसेज में वापस जाते हैं तो रेलेवेंट एरिया तक आप जल्दी पहुंचेंगे. And you'd have that overall context so that you're able to answer it. And not only that, it also helps you in saving time because you're not reading for detail, you're reading for an overview. You'll automatically be faster. So how do we skim a passage? So here are three basic strategies. So first up, beginnings and endings. So whenever you read a passage, just read the first and the last sentence of a paragraph. So that can help. Okay. But personally, I'm not very fond of this approach. I mean, I've become a better reader and therefore, instead of using this, I use the second strategy where I read a paragraph quickly, and when I'm reading it, I just focus on which part is wheat and which part is chaff. Or in other words, which part of that paragraph is a key idea, I retain that, and then I look at which part merely represents detail and I omit that. I go through it faster. I don't even try to register it in my mind. Varun, the idea is that you can always go back to the passage to look to answer the question, right? So all that we are aiming at is ensuring that we are able to go back to the right part. Okay, so we're just trying to build a mental overview by skipping a lot of the passage. So this is one such strategy. And as I said, I'm not very fond of it. I've become a better reader. It is very easy for me to now look at a paragraph and then decide what is a key idea and what is not. And that's what I typically use. And additionally, while reading it, here is one thing that you can use too. You can be guided by transitional expressions. So you know what transitional expressions are, right? These are signal words and phrases that indicate an author's direction, okay? The direction that the author is giving to his or her ideas. For example, when you look at however at the beginning of a sentence, what does it tell us? It tells us that this sentence presents an idea which is contradictory to the ideas mentioned previously. So the moment I see expressions like however, but, yet, I slow down. I read that part carefully because the author is taking a U-turn now. And U-turns are supposed to be navigated carefully. On the other hand, when I look at an expression like moreover, then I know that this shows continuation. So I don't slow down. I in fact skip that part because it is going to be more of the same. So words like moreover, besides, in addition to, additionally, likewise, similarly, you can go through those faster. So every transitional expression indicates a type of change in the direction of the thoughts. Some of those changes are important, so you need to slow down, particularly transitionals of contrast. Some of them show continuation or examples. Those are the parts that you can genuinely skip. Right? So that's how we can look at it. So let us practice a bit together. So here is a paragraph for you. Can you read this paragraph quickly and then type in the comment box the key idea of the paragraph? So go ahead, take 10-15 seconds, read it, and then type the key idea in the comment box. करते हैं, देखते हैं, आओ. Done? So what do you think? What do you think? About time that I expect some answer. You can in fact even point out a part of the paragraph that you think represents the key idea in case you don't feel like typing. बोलो बोलो बोलो. So if you've read it, all that I wanted you to retain in your mind after this paragraph was essentially the first sentence. And if I were to simplify it further, Shresht, that's terrific. Kumaresan, that's basically a little more specific. Varun, that'll become very broad, but this is what I have in mind. The ancient mangrove forest on Union Island in the Caribbean was very useful for the inhabitants. You notice everything else here is the detail. How was it valuable? Protected from hurricanes. Fish and shrimp, carbon dioxide. There were three distinct benefits that were given, but they were details. Essentially, all that we wanted to convey was that mangrove forest was really important for the inhabitants. Okay, here is the next paragraph for you. So why don't you read it and tell me the key idea that is present in this paragraph? Go ahead, give it a shot. Okay, let us see who gives me the answer first. Those of you just joining in, you are supposed to give me the key idea of this particular paragraph. Okay, Mansi is saying forms. Okay, oh, you're talking about the previous paragraph, it seems. This one is taking the thought forward. Yes, Shresh, that's better. Can we add a little more to it? because the part that you've mentioned, it does not allow us to capture this second half of the paragraph. So Sahil, yes, it definitely talks about deforestation, but we are missing out on two things. Okay, this is one, and this highlighted area is two. So here is my take on it. When I read it, this is what I had in my mind, that the profit motive raised the mangrove trees for a resort. Resort was eventually abandoned but left behind an ecological disaster. So that's how we just condense it. So this paragraph talks about how people wanted to make money and destroyed the mangrove, although they abandoned their project and left the inhabitants to foot the bill of their misadventure. Oh, suffering to local lights. Sahil, you accidentally typed localities, or maybe it's autocorrect. Don't worry, मैं इतना autocorrect मैं भी कर लेता हूँ, तो chill. We can manage. So you realize, so I hope with every paragraph you are able to see what it is that I want you to do. Here is the next one. What do you think? There'll be one more. So you get two more opportunities to work with me on this. I see two key ideas here. Let's see if you can spot those two key ideas. See, this particular ability will also help you in becoming better at best summary questions. It makes you better at even those. So let's see. Let's see who gets it first. Will it be Kumaresan or is it going to be Shresht, Mansi, Sahil, Rishi? Varun, why aren't you contributing? बताओ भाई. और अपना वो बंदा कहाँ गया यार? ऋषि. हाँ ऋषि, बता यार, बता, सोच. ओके वरुण, थोड़ा और इलैबोरेट कर यार. सिर्फ नाउन्स से बात नहीं बनेगी. यू जस्ट रिटन अ कपल ऑफ नाउन्स. We need to add a verb at least to give it a form of a thought. Kumaresan privatization. Okay. So we basically have two things. The two things are, number one, Union Island is not an exceptional case. It means that the others have been doing the same thing at other places. But the other core idea is the benefits are privatized, but the costs are socialized. So whenever any such thing happens, the profits go to those who build those resources. But if there is any harm, if there are any ecological costs, then those costs are borne by the people. तो हाँ ऋषि, बहुत क्लोज है. बस इसमें ये वाली चीज और ऐड कर देते ना तो बहुत अच्छा हो जाता. Socialized. So here is my take. So such things have happened world over. The profits of such ventures are privatized and the costs are socialized. अभिषेक यार, that's sad to hear. पर कोई बात नहीं, इस बार निकालते हैं अपन. अबे मेरे साथ काम कर, इतने नंबर तो मैं खाली अंग्रेजी से निकलवा दूंगा यार. इतना तो खाली अंग्रेजी से निकाल डालेंगे अब. So you realize it's a skill. When you start practicing it, you gradually go on to become better. Okay, and here is the last paragraph that I want you to focus on. Last paragraph. इस पे काम करके बताओ क्या होना चाहिए. Yes, Sahil, that's really very well phrased. Excellent job. That's fabulous. Let's see if you can get this paragraph right. So I'm giving you 20 seconds of silence so that you can focus on this, and then we'll look at it. Slightly longer paragraph, I can understand that it will take you time, but just identify the key idea, the key thought, and we'll see. Sahil, I think this is a fairly important point that we definitely need to reflect. Huh? We have to have this. So far capitalism, but we need to build the world under a different system. Right? So that's the core. So if I look at it, I'd say we need to move away from capitalism as it has led us to a sorry state. But then there are people who are not learning these lessons yet. I can probably add that we need to confront these entities directly. Maybe that can also be added. But you realize we've actually gone through 4 paragraphs. And the truth is we can condense all those 4 paragraphs into some 6 sentences. And now if I read the questions, I can very easily figure out the part from which the question has been created, the paragraph from which the question has been asked, and I can refer to that part rather quickly. If anybody asks me for the purpose of the passage, the main idea of the passage, the central theme of the passage, very easy for us to answer all those things right now. But if you could not get this right today or you struggled with it, don't worry. It is a skill. इट्स अ बिट लाइक सिंगिंग है ना. अब जैसे सिंगिंग है, स्किल है. अगर मैं आज गाना गाने को बोलूंगा तो हम में से ज्यादातर लोग बहुत अच्छा गाना शायद ना गा पाए. हाँ, बट देन व्हाट डू? यू प्रैक्टिस. आप रियाज करते हैं, एंड दैट प्रैक्टिस मेक्स यू बेटर. दैट्स एग्जैक्टली व्हाट आई वांट यू टू डू. ओके, सो जस्ट पिक अप, टू बिगिन विद, पिक अप 1 एडिटोरियल एवरी डे, और उसको इसी तरीके से पढ़ना है वेयर यू स्टार्ट जॉटिंग डाउन द की आइडियाज. सो रीड द एडिटोरियल, पुट योर न्यूज़पेपर असाइड, पिक अप योर नोटबुक एंड जॉट डाउन all the key ideas of that editorial from your memory. Okay, ये रोज रोज करते रहो. 3-4 हफ्ते में तुम्हें बहुत फर्क दिखेगा. Do this every day and within 3 to 4 weeks you'd notice that you've gone on to become a lot better. And every time when you sit down to attempt an RC passage, remind yourself that you're reading that passage for a purpose, and that purpose is maximum marks in minimum time, and that purpose is best served by skimming. So don't read your passage for details. Train yourself to read it to get the key ideas out, and that is going to help you immensely. What is editorial in newspapers? Okay, Varun, in newspapers, there is a particular page. So basically the newspaper tells you what happened yesterday. Okay. But in a newspaper, you have a couple of pages where you get opinion-based articles. Okay. Lengthy opinion-based articles. Some of them are written by the editor of that newspaper. Some of them are written by the guests. Right, so that page is called the editorial. I don't have a newspaper lying around right now, otherwise I could have in fact shown it to you too. But you can Google and you can find it out. Otherwise, you are in my batch if I remember it correctly, so we can take it up there as well. Right, so make sure that you do that once every day and you're pretty soon going to become sensationally good at it. And here's a thought that I want you to apply. We do not make mistakes, just happy little accidents. So if you feel that, oh, you made a mistake in giving me an answer in the comment box, don't worry. ये तो छोटे मोटे accidents हैं जिनसे हम सीखते हैं. So make sure that you keep doing that as well. ऋषि, रीडिंग प्रैक्टिस के लिए किताबें पढ़ें यार, आप किताबें पढ़ें और उससे बहुत फर्क पड़ेगा, बहुत फायदा मिलेगा आपको. हाँ, और पढ़ के ऐसी गलतियां करते रहे यार, ये गलतियां ही हैं जो हमें अच्छा बनाती हैं. So if you think that the session was useful, do give it a like. Your like is going to be like butter, like ghee to me. That for me is the most important part of this session. That's my perspective. So don't forget to give it a like before you leave, and I look forward to meeting you in the next session and hopefully in our next batch. As I told you at the beginning, we've started CAT 23 batches. It's a very comprehensive, very detailed program that takes care of every requirement of yours during your preparation, and it is not limited to the CAT. Okay, CAT के अलावा बाकी entrance exams भी सब cover कर रहे हैं अपन. हाँ, देख रहे हो, GT interview WAT तक हम कर रहे हैं. हाँ, so plenty of stuff for you to go through and benefit from. And we are also available at every social media platform that you are on, including Instagram, Facebook, and Telegram. So if you want to ask me some questions subsequently later, you can join the Telegram channel that we have, the group that we have, and drop in your doubts there, and our team will definitely get back to you on that. So that's it from me today. Okay, Shreya wants me to recommend a book. Okay, so here is one recommendation for those who are not into reading. So there's a small little book called Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson. How about starting from here? यहाँ से शुरुआत करते हैं, and then we'll take care. We'll actually take it up. Oh, Sahil, oh, terrific. I'd see you in the evening then, and if you have any more questions, I'd love to answer them there. So this is the first book that you can read in case you're not into reading. So fabulous story. I'm sure you'd like it. And with that, let's leave here today. So I look forward to meeting you once again in our next session. Until then, have fun, stay in touch, take care. See you.